Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. A strange thing happened today on my way home. I was running a bunch of errands, had to get my oil changed. You know how all that goes, right? And I was on my way home and I passed by this Goodwill that I typically never go to. And if you have been watching my channel recently, you know that I'm very into the thrifting of books. Because I'm really going back to this I don't know why, late 80s, early 90s, these, not even really young adult, but teen books that are mysteries and stuff like that. I don't know why, I just, they're fun summer reads for me and I can read them in a day. And so anyway, I find them all the time at thrift stores. And so I was you know, the ones by Carolyn Cooney and all, okay, The Face in the, Milk Carton, those kind of books. And Nightmare Hall and all that. So I was okay, well, let's go in here because I typically find those at, Goodwill and other thrift stores. So I go in there and I'm looking through all the children's books. They're called children's books at Goodwill. They're not called young adult or teen. They're called children's books. So I'm going through the children's books. Now, this is important because if you go to Goodwill and you buy books, because you're an adult, so if you take books up there, they want to charge you adult prices for the books. You tell them, you go, no, every single one of these is a child's book, okay? If you're buying young adult or teen or whatever. And, because some of these are not even teen, they're questionable, but it doesn't really matter because some of them are, I found my favorite children's book ever, and we're going to talk about that. But anyway, so I went in there, and I found one, and then I found another, and then I was like, oh my god, this is fantastic, I have found so many things I have to have. Okay, let's get right into this. The first thing is, I have never read these books, ever, but I was going to start reading them last summer, and I think I'm actually going to start doing them this summer, but I only bought the first one. Every time I go to Half Price Books, they have the first, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and the eighth, on and on and on, but they never have the second one, and guess what I found? I found The Hardy Boys, number 2, The House on the Cliff. So I'm really excited about that. Have you guys read The Hardy Boys? I've never read The Hardy Boys. How many of them are there? 64. And then you can go in there and you can buy Nancy Drew book if you want to. I would love to be Nancy Drew. What was her sidekick's name? I don't know. I never read Nancy Drew either. But anyway, so that's the first one I got. I was so excited about that. And then I came across this old copy, and I have this beautiful vintage book with the most amazing paintings and stuff in it that my aunt got for me of Treasure Island. But I wanted one that I could just read this summer, so I got A Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Isn't that who it's by? I'm almost positive it is. Yes. And it's kind of falling apart a little bit, so I can read it out on the front deck, and I don't really care. See, it's I've never read Treasure Island. So I'm super excited about this. And this is an old college one that has the area in the back where you can write notes. So if you want to write notes, just put in there and you go, notes. Things like that. Okay, what should I share with you next? I have so many good ones. Well, let's talk about my favorite childhood book of all time. And this was not the cover that I had. The cover that I had this does it have the original picture on it? Okay, so Help, I'm a Prisoner in the Library by F. Clifford. You guys, I told you what this is about a million times, but Mary Rose's father always waits until the last minute to do everything. Now they're in the middle of a blizzard and the car runs out of gas. Mary Rose and her younger sister, Jo Beth, I used to have Cloudfish and I named them Mary Rose and Jo Beth, are supposed to wait in the car until he comes back, but Jo Beth is just like their father. She has to go to the bathroom immediately. Where, at 5 p.m. on a Saturday night in a blizzard in Indiana, where I'm from, can Jo Beth find a restroom? Mary Rose discovers a library and they dash inside just before it closes, but these two girls are so fascinated with all the different displays that the librarian locks up, turns out the lights, and leaves without even seeing them. Mary Rose and Jo Beth are trapped. No one knows where they are. Suddenly, with the lights out, the library is no longer fascinating. It's strange and creepy, and now they are prisoners. Then they hear the voices. Who is locked in there with them? Is this place haunted? What kind of library is this anyway? Yeah, what kind of library is this anyway? But anyway, I love this book so much when I was a kid. This is from East Ridge Elementary. Don't know it. Okay, so, and she dedicated it to her good friends, the librarians. They spun a web of golden words and held me fast therein, a lonely child who learned from them where magic could begin. I think that's beautiful, don't you? That sounded very much like, what was her name from Strangers with Candy. Oh, I loved that show. Anyway, this is no Fenton Storybook Museum in Indianapolis, but once there was an old mansion on Meridian Street called the Rowell Memorial Library. She grew up in Indiana, and I think that's awesome. It's my favorite book ever. So, Not ever, but of children's books. Now, have you guys read Stargirl and Love Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli? I have, and two of the most fantastic books in the entire world. And I've read something else by him. Let's see, I'll tell you what else. Eggs I read by him. And then The Magic McGee I read last summer by him. And so I saw this and I never even heard of it. Jake and Lily. Even though they seem pretty different, they feel exactly the same, almost like two halves of one person. When one of them gets hurt, the other can feel it. They can communicate without words. Mysteriously, every year on their birthday, they sleepwalk to a train station in the middle of the night. How'd you get it? So no. 69 cents. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, so I got Nightmare Hall. I'm collecting these. I want the whole set. And this is called Dark Mood. High on a hillside overlooking Salem University. I've read this part before. I'm not reading it again. And then look at this one. This one looks so good too. It's so scary, doesn't it? And it's by A. Bates, author of Party Line. You guys remember Party Lines? Final Exam. These are the books that I'm talking about that I'm like totally like taken this summer with. And I don't even know why. Let's read the back of it, shall we? Because it was her worst nightmare. It says it right there in case you don't believe me. It was her worst nightmare. Kelly has always been afraid of final exams. Now she's scared to death. I am sick. And I almost... Did you hear that? I just can't sometimes with these like synopsis on the backs of books. Kelly has always been afraid of final exams. Now she's scared to death. Something strange has been going on all week. Something weird. I wonder what it could be. It started with someone playing a few pranks on her at school. You guys, it sounds like I would read my note. I am so, like, my allergies and everything, you guys, I'm sorry. But you would think that, like, how do I get through these books? Because they crack me up so much. But I do, I'm literally like this. You don't say. I love them. So, this one looks like it hasn't even been read, not once. Trashing her locker, stealing her purse, then the pranks turn deadly. Someone doesn't want Kelly to graduate. They've prepared a special final exam just for her, and she better not have any wrong answers because her life depends on it. And then see in the back here, it has all the thrillers that I want to own. I want to own every single last one of those thrillers, and they're all the same. I mean, it says on it, every single one of it says on there. And then, oh my God, here it is. Okay, you ready? Carolyn Cooney, and she wrote the, what did you call it? She wrote other books by Carolyn Cooney you will enjoy. Well, I thought she wrote, hold on a second. I thought she wrote the Carolyn Cooney. She did. Didn't she write the one with the milk carton? I thought that was her. Anyway, City Hospital emergency room. It's about these two kids, and they're volunteering there, but then all this kind of madness happens, and it just, I mean, who could even imagine, right? So I had to get that one. And then There's No Such Thing as a Haunted House by Cynthia Blair. I thought it was from Linda Blair. Wouldn't that have been so good, though, if it was The Exorcist Girl? She already has too much on her mind to take... I have to stop reading it in that voice. She already has too much on her mind to take on a mystery until she sees strange lights in the empty house next door. Oh, it says on here, a bubblegum gang mystery. I didn't know that, or I probably wouldn't have bought her. Meet the bubblegum gang. They're as different as night and day. Gorgeous blonde Samantha Langtry has too much money to fit in with the rest of the kids. Dark and short Carla Farrell is the brunt of too many fat jokes. Been there. And Betsy Crane, the new kid on the block, is a smart redhead. Why are the redheads always the smart ones, seriously? Who's just getting over her parents' divorce. Together, they're friends to the end. And high school PIs par excellence. That means private investigator, in case you didn't know. Ready to take on any mystery, no matter how dangerous. I can't wait. Okay, then the next book is... the reason I got this was because it's by Willow Davis Roberts, who wrote Witch's Sister, Witch's Water, and The Witch Herself. And I love those books growing up. This one's called Babysitting is a Dangerous Job. Darcy knew the foster kids were a bit hard to handle, but she had no idea what she was in for. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Flowers in the Attic, doesn't it? That's probably why I bought it, because I love those V.C. Andrews books. But anyway, she goes on here to complain. She's just complaining like crazy on the back of this book about these kids and how hard they are, but then it gets real good. But that's not the half of it. After I interviewed for the job, my brother drove me home. Don't you love that I say the back of it? She just complains like crazy. But after I interviewed for the job, my brother drove me home and I saw a black car following us. Then on my first day, the stranger came to the door and said he was from the gas company and to get in and had to get in for an emergency. I asked to see his ID, and instead of showing me, he just left. I could never have predicted what would happen next. Such sordid ordeals, neither can I. And then this last one, I had to get it. It's called 20 Pageants Later. Oh, it's by Carolyn Cooney, too. She just writes, author of The Face in the Milk Carton. See, I told you I was right. It's just, and this girl right here in the red. You know, the one in the red with the black hair, she always wins. They always try to act like she does, but the blonde will probably win. Pageants are rigged anyway. I love pageants. I've been watching pageants since I was a little kid. Love them all. And the winner is, Scotty Ann's older sister is a professional participant in beauty pageants. And after watching so many of them, Scotty Ann, I love that name. Scotty Ann's conclusion is that brains don't count. Scotty Ann? No, honey, not that dress. I love that. She wants nothing to do with what she considers the shallow, egotistical world of pageants. And I don't think they're that shallow anyway. I think they're scholastical contests. Until her school holds one, Scotty Ann is shocked to realize that she wants to win. After all, no one wants to be a runner-up. Thank you, Abby Lee Miller. The pageant isn't the only exciting event in Scotty Ann's life. She's been chosen to participate in a Russian studies program on the weekends at Yale University. Are you for real? Come on, gal. As preparations for the pageant continue, Scotty Ann wonders why brains don't get the recognition that beauty gets. This book is outdated, I think. I'm all down with the pageants. I love the pageants. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Russian studies at Yale. I'll just never be there, so there's no point for me to even fantasize about that. But I might still win a pageant. So anyway, I don't know what kind of pageant. We'll have to see. But doesn't that sound so good? This Carolyn Cooney, she just whips these books out. Is she even still alive? I wonder. Should we look her up in the Google? Oh, here it is. About the author. Carolyn B. Cooney is the author of many novels for young adults, including Among Friends, The Girl Who Invented Romance, Camp Girl Meets Boy, Camp Reunion, Family Reunion, Don't Blame the Music, and ALA, Best Book for Young Adults, The Face in the Milk Carton, and Operation Homefront. She lives in Westbrook, Connecticut. Do you think she's still alive? Let's look this up. Now, I mean, this woman she is like the formidable, like, beginning. She, like, is like the Lifetime Movie Network writer for young adult. I mean, she's written so many of these things. I'm going to check her out right now and see what she looks like and all that kind of stuff. Don't we want to know? I want to know. Carolyn B. Cooney. Does she even have her face up here? Is she dead? Is she alive? I'm going to be devastated if she's dead and she can make any more books. She's 70. Well, all right, Carolyn, girl. Get me on a tweet out there. All right, hey. How cool is that? Anyway, and then right below it, they have like similar vintage eyeglasses. Anyway, very cool that she's still alive. All right, she was the original YA. You never knew, did you? So that's my little, look at that. Thumbnail. That's my little exciting thing there. My book haul. All these books cost me listen to this. $6.90, 90 cents, okay? And then they go, or no, because it was $8. It was like, this one, because it's hardback, was more. Because they said, do you want to donate 62 cents? Because they do that at Goodwill, and they round up, and they give it to, like, St. Jude's, or I don't know, whatever. But I was like, sure, I'm all about the donations. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that video. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.